Hey guys, it's me, LD, and joining me today is the one, the only. That's your cue.
PyrionFlax. I was told it was
Some
going to be very educational, and I was going to be instructing a lot of people on how to play, giving a lot of tips, all the things I've picked up along the way. No? Not so much?
He made his Queen of Pain. But we don't care about any of these other schmucks. It's all about Pyrion here on his lips. So off the bat,
You betcha.
I love the fact you're denying some creeps here. This is good stuff
You
from
betcha.
you.
I love it. I mean, hopefully you'll see me use Sacrifice on cooldown. I generally do. It's like I mean, as you can see, I'm standing stock still there, watching the 30-second counter for Sacrifice, because I can only do one thing at a time. That's my greatest failing as both a human being and as a Dota 2 player. So you'll notice me just standing still a lot of the time.
Not true. You can drink beer. You can drink beer as well as play at the same time, man. Something I would like to point out is, where the hell is this Enchantress right now? You don't know, because you don't have a ward to see her. You have a ward down at the rune. This is something I noticed in your Earthshaker game, which, by the way, I believe you watched that. How did you find it?
I did watch that. I learned a great deal. Actually, subsequent to that, watching that. Oh, here we go!
That's not your base, Pyrion.
What? Why?
Alright, so explain. Riddle me this. You are a 600 range hero. We're gonna have a pause. We're gonna have to fast forward this. You are a 600 range hero who's got a nuke that's got a long range. Why the hell are you standing in the middle of the creep wave, man? God damn it, what are you doing?
I would say that, and this is, I'm not trying to defend what I'm doing, I'm just trying to explain the mindset, because this is funny. I actually played a game with a friend of mine. Well, my friend had introduced me to Dota 2. Amdis is his player name. And he said, like, he played with me again recently, he said, a fascinating journey inside the mind of PyrionFlax, like, when he played a game with me, because he's like, oh, now I understand why you're terrible, because you have these awful ideas about what you're meant to be doing, so when I'm in lane, my job is to harass, that's all I focus on. So if I have to run through the creep wave to get one auto attack off on you, you better believe I'm going to do it, buddy. You've got to put that in great.
And again! You're almost dying 1v1 to this, or 2v1 to this DK.
I thought we'd paused. Oh my
no,
God.
you were there. You were controlling. No excuses for you, mister. You were moving your hero around. How did you think we paused? Alright, so, I guess the educational part of this. If you want to harass him, don't run through the creep wave to do it. Run around the creep wave, to the side of it. So when you attack him, the creeps are going to come towards you, but they're not already beating on you. They have to travel to get that beat down. That's the first Queen of Pain. But you're at the side shop. I don't know what you're doing here. You don't have gold for anything at the side shop. You're just sort of hanging out there, trying to hide.
I sometimes check in. I like to check in and see what's going on. What are the special offers?
Here? What are you doing here? Explain. What is the...
I can't explain. Maybe it doesn't show up on player perspective. That I sometimes stop into the shop and check my list of suggested items to buy. I'm actually watching this now. I'm lurking with the intention of surprise attacking somebody probably without communicating. There you go. I surprise attack Dragon Knight. See?
Alright.
So my plan is I'm going to surprise attack Dragon Knight. He'll never think I'm in here. Look at Zoid running away like a big pussy. And now you realize why Zoid's running away, because Chargers is going to come in. Oh dear God.
So,
yeah.
Couple of blunders here for you guys in the bottom lane. It's probably about as bad as I've ever seen a lane go for a solo DK. No, I'm just kidding. It's not that bad. Oh, Zoid. And Zoid should be okay for the moment. Alright, so at this point, you've died a couple of times. Does your mindset adjust? Or do you just keep on kind of doing the same thing?
I'm just keeping it up. That's my game.
You're here to chill.
Terrible. I'm just gonna chill in lane. Look how close I am.
What are you doing? Move! Move!
Why? God almighty, what was I doing? I mean, generally speaking, when I watch my replays, which is rarely, because I mean, it's like, if you've had like a tooth extracted, you don't pull another tooth out and just to remind you about the first tooth extraction. You try to forget. So when I play a game and I lose, I generally go, ugh, put it from my mind.
Alright, here we go. Here we go. You run next to the Juggernaut.
Just standing there!
You don't use your nuke. You don't chase. No. You try to KS.
There we go. Yeah!
Pyrion.
It's like, it's a myriad of awful things that you just have burned into your brain. And like, I'm watching myself here, and I always seem to be at the forefront of every fight. I'm like stood next to the enemy. for no fucking reason. Just stood there, just chilling out. It's unbearable.
I think I'm pretty sure what we're seeing are the moments where you just decide you want to have a big swig of your beer, and then you just literally stay there. But I'm not sure because you're still clicking around, seemingly.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if there's a reason for the clicking, but like you kind of just click right next to yourself a lot.
I mean, you know what the funny thing is the cast you did the other day where you looked at my Earthshaker game, where you said, look how much of like behind you're focusing on. I've tried to stop doing that. Like I try to angle the camera, not in this game, but I try to now focus the camera more on what's in front of me because I don't need to see half the screen behind me. What's the point? But you're kind of used to playing games where your dude is in the middle of the screen.
Right,
so the idea of hardly seeing your dude or just wandering off and watching other things. Like I was playing as Axe the other day and I was jungling, and all you do is stand there and you hit the same guy and you counter helix and that's it. And I was busy watching this, and then I was like, wait a minute, I could be watching like my friends' lanes and seeing if they need help or seeing what's going on.
I can move this camera. Holy crap!
But I won't. In this game, I won't. My camera will be firmly fixed. I will keep myself in the middle of the screen like I'm some kind of cameraman watching some fascinating animal on the plains of the savannah. I'm like, we gotta keep it on. Yeah, the lesser spotted PyrionFlax. And I'm gonna keep him in the middle of the frame at all times because Lich running across the map is so fucking fascinating. You don't want to miss a fucking second of that. Oh my god. And now I'm here stealing your farm. Look at this!
I think this is the point where I started berating you a little bit. Good-naturedly, of course.
You're lucky. I'm going to steal that rune if you're not careful.
I know. I said no. In the end, you don't. This is the point in the game where I think for a lot of players like you who are very new to Dota, they're like, I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to follow around the guy who seems to know what he's doing.
Yeah. I do that all the time. I'm like, oh look, LD's running off. I'll follow LD, and I'll kill steal. Look at this.
You wanted to. You wanted to.
Oh, so close.
By the way, it's 11 minutes in, and you're still not level 6.
Oh my god.
This is a problem.
Painful. It's painful.
You know what helps you get levels faster, Pyrion? When you don't decide to do the scenic tour all the way around the map, because you ran bottom a few times, you died a couple times, then you go top, you sort of wander around the jungle. By the way, there's a massive team fight directly below you breaking out. I see all these X's on the map. Are you watching this?
There it is. 2 people died, and now I'm gonna get killed by Dragon Knight. Fuck off. I was just chilling out mid. You know what? At that point, my brain switched to, if I farm here for like 2 more minutes, I'll get to level 6 and I might have enough for wards. And I don't adjust my game at all. At all.
The bottom right corner, you see this big thing that's like got like a clock, kind of? That's the glyph.
Right!
That's the glyph! You didn't know about the glyph? Did you know what it was?
Exciting. I honestly didn't know that.
How many games for everybody who's not familiar with you and your illustrious career, how many games have you played of Dota 2?
Me?
Uh-oh. Pyrion. That's not Pyrion. You have to move.
Oh.
This is why you play Lich, because you can do that and still get a kill.
Well,
you got to kill, man. Right?
As I'm waiting to respawn, though, I'm thinking I'm surprised I'm not checking my my kills. I'm delighted whenever I get one or an assist. I'm like, yeah! Even if it's like 1, 10, 3, I'm like, yes! Got a kill! So, yeah.
Let me tell you, you get a lot more kills when you don't feed early game.
The number of people that 10 minutes into the game, they're like, please report Lich. Seriously, and I'm like, guys, I'm not feeding, I'm just terrible. But look at that. There you go. You got a double kill. I never get a double kill.
Well, alright, so the big thing we're noticing in a lot of these engagements, right, is somehow you find yourself in the middle of 4 enemy heroes, usually under their tower, with the creep wave attacking you, being stunned, and then you're just like, what the fuck, man? Why am I dying? I don't even know where I am right now. This is
it's just unbelievable to watch. Like watching it now in the cold light of day, not that drunk. It's just incredible that I can see I just fucking stand there, like they're running right at me, and I'm just like, yeah, I've got this. Everybody else is running away. The tank is running away. Everybody's running away. I'm just like, there's no problem. I've got my Q, and I know what's happening is I've got my Q highlighted. I'm like hovering it over the. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get this guy. It's just awful.
It's like the aliens are invading, and like all your neighbors are stampeding away from you. And you're just standing there like. Having your beer, chilling out, man. Like, no, let's just play one more round of pool, and then we'll go. All right, like smoking your cigar. And the next thing you know, you're getting tasered or enslaved or something. Something I'm noticing: you never click on any hero except for your own hero. I have no idea what any. I don't know what any heroes have or items. I don't know what level they are. Like, I know nothing. I have no intelligence about anyone in the game.
Getting any intel out of me. Like, people are always like, so and so's got Sanj and Yasha, or blah blah's got Manta, or oh, so and so bought Battle Fury at 18 minutes. And I'm like, that means nothing to me, and I don't give a shit. Like, all I care about is PyrionFlax.
We are all together on TeamSpeak during this game. Like, I'm telling Pyrion, or no, we're talking in game. I believe we're talking in game. It's like, I'm telling him to show up to these fights. I'm telling him things are going on. And then eventually, he's like, oh, I guess I'll check out what's going on. That's a nice chain frost there, by the way. Real nice.
Yeah, killed one dude, right?
So something I'm noticing when I watch you play is I feel like you're like, oh shit, I gotta use all my abilities before it's too late.
I'd say that my biggest fear in any team fight is that people will say, why didn't you use your ult? So the moment we get in any team fight situation, I'm looking for any two enemies that are even remotely close together, and I'm like, ult! Even if it's not the right time, like, I won't hang back. Like, a good Lich player will sort of appear out of nowhere with this wonderful ult that, like, turns the tide of the battle. Right. I'll like, initiate with that shit. And then I'm just standing there in the middle of everybody like, what's up? It's awful.
Okay. So, I can see you pick up... This is my... Oh my god, this is my favorite part of the game. You see an iron branch on the ground, and you immediately just think, like, oh, an item! Oh, I gotta grab it! Oh, it looks so delicious.
That's like the game you did where I like ran in, almost dying, just to destroy
the same thing.
a clarity potion. Like, look at how he died. What an idiot! Look at this. Use the
buckler. Although it wouldn't matter because the impetus does pure damage, but you wouldn't know any of that. So.
Gotcha. I don't know what pure damage is. When people talk about it, like someone will say to me, dude, you should play so-and-so. His ult is this, and it's pure damage. I'm like, awesome. Just blank. My expression is just completely blank at that point. I'm pure damage? I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Look at me here, standing next to Pudge again.
Well, this time it's okay, because we have the numbers advantage. But...
There's like 4 of us.
But see, with you, it's not like, I don't think that thought process is happening. You're just next to whatever's going on, regardless of whether or not.
Like, if I see a black hole, I think I better get close to this. If they run away, they might get away. So I'm like, I'll stand right here with my lousy, like, 700 health or whatever I had at the time. Pudge can't take me down at that time. It's like, yeah, he can. And that's why I die all the time in those situations.
Turns out.
Oh, sorry, guys. Look at this, there's an item on the floor! Look at me looking at it.
I think I told you to drop this branch a while ago, and you like were arguing with me or like, oh, I know I can't use it. I don't care.
It's a free branch. Does it not do anything?
It does nothing. Except
really?
It wastes an inventory slot. That's what it does.
Oh fuck!
These guys.
I thought I couldn't sell it, but I thought it did something.
These guys really don't like you, by the way. This is a long way to chase a Lich.
I just think to them it's like. It's a chance to kill PyrionFlax. That's the only thing I can put it down to.
It's a delicious, tasty Lich. Alright.
You know what? It's actually quite handy because I'm the most useless person in the fight, and they're like focusing me.
It is. It is. It helps when your opponents are bad too, right? No. What is it?
I don't think you understand, LD. This is me genuinely trying to get better. Like, genuinely, it takes a fucking long time. It really does. Like, I never learn anything the hard way. It has to be learned extremely, extremely long and complicated route.
You know, so I will say, in your defense, Dota is an extremely complicated game. I played it for the better part of a decade. I mean, not a decade, but more. I'm closer to 10 years than I am to 5 at this point, I want to say. Or
well, yeah.
At least halfway through that, so... In your defense, it is a very complicated game. I'm not even that good, and I've been playing longer than a lot of people who are very good, so... It's not to criticize, just sort of like... I think a lot of us forget the mindset of the noob. Just how damn
that sick,
overwhelming the game is.
Disgusting mindset is... I think what... You know, there are lots of games that I've played a lot. Like, I mean, I've played... I actually played poker more than anything, I'd say. Like, I used to play online poker a lot. I'm not saying I was any good. Like, I didn't win a huge amount of money, but I did okay. Not brilliant. But the fact is that when I played with players who were bad, the things that they did... I mean, to me, the way Dota players talk about my play is the same way I spoke about terrible poker players' play. Like, there's like a plane that you reach. Like, you're either terrible, passable, or really, 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 really good, and then there's like all kinds of stratospheres beyond that.
And most people are terrible, right?
Exactly. So, like, when I play a casual game of poker with friends who don't really play poker, I'm like, I cannot believe you just did that. Like, the first hand of the night, everybody just I don't know if you play poker or not.
Yeah, I played
First hand of the night, everyone just limps in, and they don't know how to set up the games. They don't know how to set up the blinds, and they'll have these vast chip stacks and these tiny blinds, and they all limp into the hand. I'm like, really? Nobody's gonna bet? Like, what? You know, it's just mind-boggling to me the way they play. But that's the way they play. And I honestly think for Dota 2 players, watching someone like me play is like when I play with someone who's never played poker before and is kind of joining in. It's like, oh, it's just a bit of fun, and they're like, but why would you do that? It's like it really angers them because it's like taking logic. It's like if Spock had emotions and he saw someone taking logic and snapping it in half over their knee. So I think even Spock would get angry, you know?
So do you get angry when people do stupid stuff in poker?
No, because you can win money from it. Like, I don't tell them. Like, the thing is, in poker, you don't tell the guy that he's a fish. You just quietly take all his money. Whereas in Dota 2, because there's teamwork, you have to shout at the guy, and you have to say, what the fuck are you doing? Oh, here we go, Chain Frost! One creep hit. I'm not even going to look at what's happening. Look at that. He's running away.
I like how you are running away, though, with your team. That is the correct thing to do. If I can
honestly, the moment I see one person turn around and run, generally in any fight, I'll turn and run away. Unless I'm at the forefront and I've got my mind on other things.
Well, if you're playing Lich, that's generally a good approach. And I would actually say, so my one piece of advice to you, as long as you're playing a hero like Lich, just always stay behind your team. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what the situation is, just stay behind your team. And then slowly but surely you can try and, you know, change that formula. But it seems to me,
I just think
like you take the opposite
I'm so scared
approach.
of appearing useless and cowardly that I think I need to get in there. Like, I don't want to be the guy who just hovers at the back and then when things go bad he runs away. But here I am, like, TP'd straight into a horrible situation. I'm probably going to die here. There we go. What was I doing?
That's another good rule of thumb. If you're going to be playing a hero like Lich, a support, you got to be with your team to support them. We're like busy winning the game, and you're kind of just running
into mid blindly.
I could do this all day, man. Holy crap.
Look at this. Look at this. He's gonna... I'm like, sweet, some creeps to kill.
There's an item. I like how you stop. I like how you stop to kill the creeps. We're like killing their base right now, period. And if we're not killing their base, then we're dying and we need your help. Either way. Oh, you almost got on. Did you know there was a punch there? Did you see? You saw him on your screen. I'm not sure if you really noticed.
I saw the punch and I remember thinking...
Now,
like,
Pudge
I will not alter my course. That's the last thing he'll expect.
Now, Pudge is one of these, like, Pudge is someone you learn about quickly, right? Like, you don't know that Impetus does pure damage from Enchantress, but you know that Pudge is a hero that you don't want to fucking get hit by that
Stay away.
Yes.
Stay away.
Stay the hell away.
So now I'm hiding behind the druid dude.
This is good. This is exactly what... That, not so good. And the part where you're in front of us, not so good.
Not my best one.
No, not so much, man. But you know what? It ends up working out. So you have a moment of unintended brilliance here.
I do?
Where is it? Yeah, this is the part where you said, turn around, let's fight. Or maybe that was Zoid.
Yeah, that's true. No, that's right. I said, wait, we can do this. I remember this now. And I was the one who turned the battle just by leadership.
Yeah, I didn't quite realize how big our lone druid was, but that certainly helped matters. You guys have been farming all game.
You guys did nothing. Look at this.
Yeah.
Picking us all up.
You're not attacking. You're just standing there. You're just standing there. Now you use your Q.
It's because you can't hit Juggernaut when he's doing that spinning shit.
Alright, when he's doing the spinning shit, if you're not gonna Q him, or if you can't Q him, then right click him. Because you do damage.
Can you still hit him?
Yes, you can attack him, you just can't use your spell on him.
Oh shit, okay, I'll remember that. Christ.
Yeah, that only makes him magic immune, not physical
Oh
immune.
fuck. Alright.
So you thought you couldn't hit him, see?
Yeah, I
You
thought
learned,
you
you
can't
learned
hit
a
him
few
at all.
things here.
So I'm standing there like, well, I'll wait till he's finished.
Alright, so Pyrion, I gotta ask you, man. Did you learn anything today? Do you feel better about Dota?
I actually, it sounds funny, but watching the replays back in the full light of day, like half the stuff I do, I just can't really believe it. Like you don't...
Like you know better.
Because there's, yeah, because you die and you think, ah, well, maybe that was something they did. Like when you're watching it and you can say, no, that was legitimately criticizable as my fucking fault. Like the only reason that happened was because I was an idiot. Like that. 5 seconds, and I probably said then, oh, it was only 5 seconds from my ult, as if that would have saved me. In the heat of the game, you don't have time to think, so you have to go on your instincts. And if your instincts, because you don't know what the fuck you're doing, are to be awful, then you're gonna die a lot. Like a lot of players, they look at the minimap and they can instantly tell where they should be. And it is really, really, really hard. I mean, I'm not even sure I use Mechanism in that fight. If I did, then I've got my 4-star now, so that's something. But the thing is, I buy 4-star because people say I should get one. Like, get a 4-star, it's a really useful item. I'm like, okay, I don't really know what to do with 4-star. I don't really know when someone wants to be propelled towards the enemy. You know, so I get it, but it's not something I should really get because I don't really know what to do with it. It's crap.
Do you use it? That's my question. Do you ever actually use the item?
I guarantee you this game will play out and I will not use it at all unless I'm running away. Like here, I might use it to run away. Here. Watch this. No,
right.
I use it on Omni Knight.
Alright, so here, you are the one who's closest to their team, and yet you force that away your Omni Knight instead.
We'll be lucky if I use Mechanism here. I guarantee you, I normally put Mechanism on slot 3, so I might accidentally try and teleport. Instead of hit Mechanism, that would not seem unusual. I'm gonna fire my ult. Look at this. I'm gonna fire my ult in here any second. I guarantee you. Here we go. In this game, you even said we need to look at this game again, and I can tell you how shit you are. I have a feeling it was in this game that you told me, like even before we'd finished.
Well, lest your many devoted fans, which by the way, I'm a huge fan of Pyrion's work. I find his videos funny. He's a pleasure to play with. None of this is meant to be mean-spirited at all. If it comes across that way, that's just my sense of humor. Sorry, but I mean, it's meant to be educational. It's meant to be me poking a little fun at you. I think you can take it. You seem like you have some pretty thick skin.
Oh, jeez. I mean, you know, I've been bad at games a lot longer than 3. Like, I started playing this in March. I've been bad at. I played Eve for 3 years, and I was like one of the FCs, which was like a fleet commander for the corp I was in which was Grun, for a long time. And I was known as being a good FC because I was fun to play with, but a terrible FC because tactically and in every other way, I had no fucking idea. So it doesn't stop me playing and enjoying the game. I just hope it doesn't affect. I mean, my friend today said, I'm never playing with you again. Like, that's it. I'm just solo queuing from now on. I insisted on playing anti-mage.
Would you want to do this again? Is this something where we can make it a series, and maybe we could do like more focused topics in the future? And we'll talk about how to play Dragon Knight and anti-mage. We can look at your anti-mage game.
I would absolutely love to. In fact, the anti-mage game I played today would be a prime example. That I would love to look at that, and I would love you to tell me what I did wrong. So as far as making this a series goes, if people like this one, I am more than happy. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm
going to take a sneak peek. I see you played not 1, not 2, but 3 anti-mage games in a row. I see one game where you have a Vanguard 35 minutes in, and that's it when the game ends. I see another game.
My friend said to me, Pyrion, have you been selling items again in order to afford Vanguard? I was like, no, like, the shield I bought turns into Vanguard. He said, yeah, but why do you only have Vanguard after 35 minutes? I was like, I couldn't get any farm. He was like, what do you mean? It's 35 minutes.
I see another game. The second game was decent, but so I skip right over that. I go to the third game, where you have a Battle Fury. Yeah, go straight to the bad one. Where you have a Battle Fury and a Quelling Blade, and a 4-man or Stout Shield. No boots. No Vanguard, no Manta Style.
Well,
37 minutes.
I don't want to try and defend what I was doing without rewatching the game, but I don't buy boots on anti-mage because he can just blink. Why do I need boots? If I'm chasing a dude, I just blink. Like that was how he thought. So.
All right, we're gonna have to look at that game or one of these games soon. But guys, that is gonna do it for this week. This is the inaugural episode of, what are we calling it again, man? It's a fascinating...
a journey into the mind of PyrionFlax or something like that.
A fascinating look or journey into the mind of PyrionFlax. Oh, we need some... You're going to have to help me come up with some good artwork for this one. But, guys, that's going to do it for now. Hope you all enjoyed. And if you like it, let us know in the comments. And hopefully we'll be coming back with a PyrionFlax Plays Anti-Mage feature edition. Should be a doozy.
Bye-bye.